All right, welcome to my Bonsaiverse taco, and we're gonna do a part 3 on kind of touring the property here because there's a lot to go through. So let's dive in. Kind of picking up where we left off. We've got some Osage orange in here. I think there's another persimmon, maybe some other trees in here, native trees kind of thing. I think that might be a red bud. Then we're gonna be playing around the property. They're just kind of hibernating now. This is just an immense patch of flowering quince. I don't know the exact variety, but yeah, these are all just suckers growing up in the roots. These are all mowed down, literally mowed with a lawnmower. And this is how they've grown this year after the summer. I just left these big clumps and they've grown nicely too. I've done a little cutting off the top, but need to get rid of some more terminal buds to keep them from using too much energy. Uzi's out here playing. And then I got some stuff planted on this hill. We covered it all with mulch. And our porch here, this is just stuff in a pot right there. On our porch here, we've got, this is the Christmas tree. I believe it is a balsam fir, but I could be wrong on that. It's not a spruce. Someone can correct me, but it's a fir. It's a pretty tree. So dug this up, put it in a pot, been keeping it covered with snow. Pretty easy to do. And hopefully I'll be able to develop this as a Christmas tree in the future. But not a traditional Christmas tree so much as a traditional fir, evergreen, conical shape. Then around the corner here, we've got, just inside this door, there's a couple other things. So there's my Japanese maple, that's a bulge cypress. This is one of my mom's aloe house plants, not mine. This is one of mine, and somehow it's grown new leaves in this weather out here. This is not even fully insulated or sealed. We put some insulation in, but this is just a shed. Like there's air coming in everywhere. So this is a new leaf. There's another one started here. It's been doing awesome. It loves this weather. It loves that window. It's a low light plant. Here's some of my tropicals. They've been having a hard time. Combination of we're keeping it warm with an infrared heater combined with like a patio heater, and then this one on the floor here. So these don't have the best time. Some of them are doing all right, some of them not so much. This one got a lot of freeze damage from transportation. This one has just had the hardest time. I don't know if you folks recall, and you can see a lot of these branches are dead. This was repotted right before I moved and it keeps getting tipped over. Unfortunately, this room is a multi-use room. You know, woodshed. Sometimes we put chickens in here. And reaching over getting these lights is tougher for shorter people. These are some of my grow lights. I've got a bunch more down in here, but sometimes they tap these. So this has got more of a lean on it, but it's also gotten some freeze damage. This one has been a combination of drying out, freezing, and heat. This heat has been not so good for it. Sometimes we have to turn it up to 3 to keep it from getting below freezing in here. Other ones have been doing okay. This one's been doing okay. My Wiggly Boy's been all right, but I lost my good branch down below there. This one's been good. You can see it's even got new growth on it. So nothing's really died. This one's got new growth. This one's been surviving. I wouldn't say new growth, but it hasn't killed new growth. This one's okay too. This Flora looking good. Pretty sure my root cutting died, and the willow that I got before died. It's been tough to keep these wet, but this one's been surviving. So I'm not sure how my roots look under there, but watered today is why they all look kind of wet. And they're doing okay. And they get good light. From the outside, they look a little more impressive. So from outside here, you can kind of see they look nice. And I guess this bad angle, but they get lit up really nicely. You can see them from a distance nicely. There's another view of that spruce tree. Excuse me, spruce tree. We got some rosemary, lavender, blueberries in here. We pulled a whole bunch of juniper out of here, creeping juniper, which still exists here. We still got a whole bunch of it. These are ones that my grandfather planted forever ago. So they're nice. It's nice juniper, or related at least. It might be something else, but I'm pretty sure it's juniper. There's a dead bit in there. I will probably try to get this out of the ground and use it for some sort of bonsai. Got Lucy in the window there. And here, the kind of backyard, that's some purple lilac. Got one of the Chinese garden juniper there. And that is a magnolia, same as one we have in the front that I'll show later. There's a holly tree I'm working on. I'm gonna try to get this a little bit healthier looking. It's kind of not suffering, but it's got a lot of like odd growth on it. It's growing vertical. I'd really like to get this a little bit healthier. I've done some pruning down here to get some more air in there, but I can only go so far. Yeah, I keep marveling at trees like that spruce there. It's just beautiful. Looked good before, but it had all the dead branches hanging down. Now it looks really good. And that's just a natural tree. I don't think we've even planted it. I think this is a silver red hybrid maple. This is a false orange. I don't know exactly what a false orange is, but that's what they call it, or mock orange. It kind of looks like honeysuckle, but it gets little orange fruits on it. It gets like orange blossoms, so pretty cool. Yeah, pretty old. This one I think has been here as long as the house has been here, this tree. Again, pretty big. Some more over here. I think they're silver red hybrids. And then, oh, the hemlock. There's a nice eastern hemlock here. Some more lilac. So that's a nice big. This was a small tree when my family moved in here. So, and you can see now it's not a small tree. It's a nice sized tree. Pretty healthy. We just pruned up some. Oh. Hi, Uzi. Hi, Uzi. Come here. Good boy, Uzi. Hi, bud. Hi. 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 Oh, hello, hello. Oh. You smell like you've been in the horse compost. What do you think, young man? Uzi loves it up here. He's up here full time after his back injury. It's a lot of risk moving him around a lot, but he loves it. And as you can tell, he's quite the farm dog, right? How's that snow? Is it good? Good boy. There's our spring house. So we have a spring there as well. And this is another really dense, really old apple tree. Again, it's a little different from the ones down there. This one hasn't been chewed on by horses. It's got this beautiful, beautiful color to the bark. I mean, look at that. It is like copper. And it may be, something on the bark that makes it like that. I don't think it's the apple cedar rust. This one needs some help. It's had some rough times, but it's just gorgeous. And it's even got fresh woodpecker holes. So this is still being eaten up by woodpeckers. But a big tree, especially for an apple. That is a big tree. So this one's doing great. I've got another. Uzi, stay here, bud. There's an apple. I think that's a cherry, but laying down along here is an apple. It's growing up. There's some more back in there. Kind of hard to see. But right here, that kind of post is actually a rose. And it's been growing insane, so we have to work on that. We've got sarvisberry and cherry in here. This is where we got that Christmas tree from, the fir, this year. So I guess some of these are fir and some of them are spruce. Like this here is spruce, but there's some fir farther down. And these were planted by my grandfather, so these aren't young trees. So this, I believe, is a spruce. I don't know if it's red or white. I believe it is a red spruce. Could be wrong on that. And they're beautiful. This is what I thought it was, because I thought he only planted red spruce. These are big trees too. They're not small anymore, but they grow rapidly, as you can imagine. This creates a very cool tunnel here up to the street, up on the highway. There's that hemlock. Again, just stunning. And I've got some more trees down in here that I think are kind of fun. Not as many along here, but I will walk along here. All right. Yeah, so there's a backwards view. There is some lichens, some issues with them. They're nice. They're nice spruce trees. None of these spruce trees were here. This is actually like a meadow. This whole property was kind of a meadow. So the highway was built up here. This was dug. Wasn't here before. It was kind of a slope. And so this has been built up over time. And something really fun in here. So I've got other native shrubs and all that. This is kind of a swamp. So this, I believe, it could be white, but I believe it's a red spruce, and I believe it's a dwarf. I don't know if it's a naturally occurring dwarf or what, but these are very, very small needles, you can see, versus the normal size needles that we saw a minute ago. These are very, very small. So it might be a dwarf red spruce tree, which is very exciting. Hard to say, but this is a mature tree with very small needles. You can see it's very dense. So I thought that's awesome. Right up in here, that whole mess is one big Russian olive that I've got to clear out at some point. It would be sad because it's a beautiful tree, bush, whatever you want to call it, but it's got to go. And they're so invasive, it's incredible. So here's another. The deer here sharpen their antlers on here. So this is more normal size needles, much, much larger than that other one there. And it may just be smaller needles because of where it's at, but got some alder. I think this is a gray alder here. Grows really cool. Had to do a lot of cutting back on that. Pretty nice cherry there. Cherry there too, doing some more pruning on the one next to it. And then this laying down here is another apple. I don't know if it has apples often, but it is an apple tree. Oh, hi Uzi. Some more nice spruce trees up on the highway there. More alder. There's a really big gray alder somewhere up in here. I just can't remember where. It's beautiful. Good boy, Uzi. This is, I think it was a cherry. It came down recently. It's a nice diagonal. It's a very straight piece of wood, so I'm assuming cherry. There's cherry all through here, among other things, but lots of cherry. You can see some spruces up there, and we planted some, not spruce, some Osage orange along that embankment to try to hold it together, keep it from eroding. Right here, this one is an apple tree. There's half a dozen apple and crab apple in there that are really, really beautiful trees. They're just hard to get to. And of course, lots and lots of cherry trees like this one. I think that right there in the middle is a maple. This is a Sarvis berry. It's just gorgeous. I mean, you can't not stand back and look at this and say, wow, that is just, it's intricate, it's complex, and it's got such good formation. There's some lower branches, don't get me wrong, and I've got to prune those up a little bit to keep them safe, but man, if that just isn't a beautiful canopy, and it's not a very big tree. It's not very old. I mean, you look at this, and it probably is about the same size as that other oak over there, but it's not an enormous tree, but it's just got such beautiful, and even the lichen on it makes the bark have more texture, but it's just got such beautiful, intricate branching. I mean, that is just a thing of beauty. I just love marveling at how, I mean, a cherry, same size, doesn't look nearly as old. This thing just looks old and giant, but it's small. Comparatively speaking, it's probably still 20, 30 feet tall, but it doesn't look nearly, or it's not nearly as big as it looks like it is without that perspective. That's a cherry, it's dying. This right here is another apple tree. Really nice apples on it, leaning up against I think that's a red maple, but it might be a red silver hybrid. But it's a maple tree it's leaning up against. See, it's got this nice little bridge there, so that'll have to be addressed, but we did take quite a bit off it this year to keep it healthy, and I'll continue to work on that one, clearing out around it, partially because I'm also going to be having a creek crossing here, a bridge, so not to create issues, but I do need to have a way to get to that side of this creek that's safe. And we used to have a bridge here, I believe, but it was a little wooden bridge that crumbled a long time ago. We need to have a crossing for horses and for heavy equipment. And so we got, you know, all the alder, we got arrowwood viburnum, we've got all kinds of stuff in here. There's a really cool cathedral style maple there. I don't know if you can see. Let me zoom in, can't really see. But right here, this one, you can see it's got all those branches that kind of swoop up and over. Really nice. Some really nice hawthorns too. So a very spiky hawthorn in the back there. Some maples that aren't really as, you know, nice. Some Sarvisberry maples in here too. This is a pine that I'd really like to work on some more, get a little bit healthier. I believe it is still the same type of pine, but this one has a much more, you know, has much more of the like one thick branch and smaller branches around it. So I'd like to try to work on these whorls and, you know, accentuate these branches, have it be a kind of deciduous tree form despite being a pine in nature. It is holding our creek together, so I can't take it out, but it is not ideal to have it this dense or even, you know, heavy on one side or any particular. It'll just be fun to prune up and get healthy and keep it from growing too fast, so it stays about the size. It does almost overhang our field, so we can't have it get too big. cherry that I'm slowly getting rid of. This maple too. I'm gonna keep the, barely see them. There's blueberries down here at the bottom. I'm gonna keep these blueberries. I might turn this into a, shorter orchard bush style. And this is a funny one. So from a distance, it's a completely different color. This is supposed to be a Colorado blue spruce. I believe it is. And again, it's got pretty, there's a brush pile here. It's got pretty normal sized needles on it, but they're very light here. But once you get into like here, you can see they're very blue. So this one, ooh, nice little bird's nest there. This one, I've cut off a lot of these broken branches that were down low to get more air to the trunk because it was really starting to look like it was struggling. This was a gift from my aunt, who currently lives in Colorado Colorado Springs. She gave it to my grandfather a while back. So I don't know how old this is, but I know that it's grown quite a bit. And right now it's kind of converting itself into an old growth, whether it be premature or not. So it's clearing off, sorry, that was a funny walk, the bottom part of the branches. So from here up, there's life, but from there down, there's not a whole lot of it. A lot of these branches are dead until the very ends. I'm gonna continue to work on it, get a little more pruning into it, but it'll look like an old tree despite not being very big, which is kind of cool, same as, so that sarvice berry is in here. It doesn't even stick up above the tree line. It sits right about there, but because it looks so cool, it looks big. I mean, the spruce grow big. See how big these oaks are. That sarvice berry looks just like these, only it's very small. And this cherry too, it's beautiful. There's another crab apple right here. And you can just barely see back here. So that's an apple right there. That's an apple. And there's more in there. I believe that's an apple tree, but I could be wrong there. We're really working on it. I mean, there's a lot to be done. This property didn't look like this 70 years ago for good reason. That's just a car backfiring. Even this barn didn't look like this 70 years ago, but we've got our pond, we've got our chickens, we've got our horses. We're pretty well set up. And there's one more tree I want to show you guys before I stop this video. Maybe more than one. So this is another just beautiful oak tree. There's no real way to get perspective on this. It's massive. So I showed the split before. I didn't really give you a good perspective. I don't think there's any real way to get perspective on how big this thing is. I mean, it's just a beast. Even the split in it is as big as some trees on the property, and it's just big. Really nice base on it too. When I come to the side here, you've just got, it just blocks things out. It's not quite 6 feet, I don't think, from, across the Nabari, but these are 8-foot sections of fence. And I'm a little farther away from them, but it gives you the impression it's that big of a tree. So very cool. These are pieces of the one that came out of here. Last one I'll show you is this maple over here. So I'm gonna get after that. All right, Dad's got the tractor out. So this is another old tree. I believe this one is just a, Uzi, it's me. He's good at letting us know when people are coming. So this is a old, I think it's just a silver maple. I don't even think it's a hybrid. I think that one's a hybrid over there, but this is just silver maple. And what's really cool about it, you can kind of see right in the crack there, it's hard to get, right there, there's a cherry tree growing out of this one. It's old. Again, one of those massive trees, beautiful flaky bark. This one's been here as long as we've owned the property. It's big, it's real big. Very craggy bark. I don't know if you can see very well there, but yeah. That is incredible. I mean, pieces of bark that stick up far enough to be considered their own tree almost, like huge flakes of bark that stick up off this thing. It's gorgeous. Really cool branches, lots and lots of branching to it. Yeah, these things they're old, they're big. They would be bigger if they were at a warmer climate. I'll give that disclaimer. I'm marveling at them because up here things don't get this big all the time. And these are heavy. So here's a good perspective too. This is a chain, I think back in the 30s, 40s, 1930s, 1940s, they used this with a hammock or something like that, because there's one over here too, or there used to be. In fact, this chain used to stick out and the final link broke off of it on the outside here. But you can still kind of see all the way in there, there's still a piece of rusty metal. So yeah, and these are oaks. But yeah, that's how old this thing is. I'm actually impressed with how well this chain is held up too, because these are really, really old chains, but they're just good iron, I guess. I think you can tell by the shape of it, this isn't a machine-made chain. Someone made this chain. The links are irregular. I don't think it's just that they're stretched out. They aren't, these aren't the same sort of chain you'd buy at the store today. The nut and bolt probably is the same sort, a hex nut, whatever size. But you can see the level of rust on this thing. It's been here for a little bit. Again, impressed that it exists at all. And yeah, got the Chinese garden juniper. I'm trimming up there. Got an azalea over there at the bottom of the fence right there. This beautiful hemlock. Yeah, it's and there's some lilacs here I can go through later too, but it's just a mecca for beautiful trees. I mean, the size of this thing, the scar that hasn't fully healed over. That's how slowly this thing grows. I think you can see some of the age in that scar. That scar is as old as I am, if not older, and it's just still healing over, flattening out. It's incredible. So, yeah, there's another one up there. Things live in that, of course, but just beautiful, beautiful trees. And just, not all of them have that massive base. Like that one has a nice wide base there, but beautiful. And again, these don't grow this fast. They grow fast at the beginning, but they don't grow very fast up here. They grow pretty slow. So what you're seeing is pretty much the same as it looked 70 years ago. They weren't much different. Yeah. There's that blue spruce down there you can kind of see. You can't even tell where that sarvisberry is. The really pretty one that I really like. I think it's right there. But it doesn't pop up. It looks old and big, but it's not. There's that tunnel of spruce trees. Silver maple, red maple in the backyard. Yeah. So this is my new digs. I won't be here all the time. I travel for work right now. But I'm hoping to make some more videos here. Again, it may not always be things in a pot, but things like this, of course, which my grandfather planted. It's not super, super old, but it's pretty old. It probably is 50 years old. Might be a little younger. But I'm going to try to get this thing into more of a bonsai shape. This is all new growth from the last year. It doesn't grow super fast, but it is pretty healthy. So I'm hoping I can do something with it. It's nice growth on it too. I think this is just a common, Chinese garden juniper. We'll see what we can do. This was grown out to cover these doors almost, so a lot of progress there. This was coming halfway up the house. Cut that back quite a bit. You can kind of see there's some bigger pieces in here, but they're all the way down to the ground. It's cut all the way to the ground. Everything else is grown up. Yep. But this is it. This is the new digs. Thanks for joining me. I'll try to be better about updating this year, 2026. So happy New Year, everybody. Happy holidays. Wish health onto you, your families, friends, loved ones, and even your enemies. Hope everybody's happy and healthy, just not at the expense of others. Cheers.